Welcome to the Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, and welcome to the Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce. I'm Michelle Risa, President, and we have really created a wonderful, wonderful program for you today, which is the 3 secrets to success using the brain. Let me first tell you about the Chamber, our wonderful mission, which is broken into 3 parts. Number 1, it's heal personally. 2, it's about growing professionally. And of course, 3, building community. And we address all 3 every time we gather. And so let me explain a little further. Heal personally because we believe that everything we manifest in the outside world radiates from within us. So who we are on the inside manifests what shows up on the outside. And we'll actually be using this wonderful truth later in the program, helping you experience that. Secondly, grow professionally. We at every meeting increase your exposure by first creating a panel of members where they, based on a certain theme, present to everyone in the room. To increase exposure, we create then a webinar out of that panel, which you can then reach an online audience. We then come to the TV show and have that panel present here so that, again, more people are able to experience what you do. Or you can put it on your website or social media platforms. And we're looking to even bring it to other organizations so your expertise can be learned by even more people. That's our second commitment, to grow professionally. And finally, build community. We're a really supportive community right here in Manhattan. We're scheduling joint events and workshops, and even when it comes to testimonials that we give in the meetings, we videotape them to be able to not rely on your selling your own program or business, but rather have someone else who actually experienced it tell people how wonderful that experience was. So I hope you will keep that in mind. I hope that resonates with you. And let's now move on. And let me first introduce, however, my vice president, which is Kirsa Brennan. Thank you so much
for
being here in my life and on the show. And what would you like to add to what I've just shared about the Chamber?
Well, we're always growing and expanding. Our next meeting will be August 14th. It'll be a rooftop summer soiree. So if you would like to come, you can send me an email at holistichelp, the number 4, the letter U, at yahoo.com. So that's holistichelp4u@yahoo.com. And if you are available on August 14th in the evening, we'd love to see you there.
Thank you. So let's go right into our secrets. Again, the secret to success using your brain. What I'd like to share is that everything is made up of energy. So thoughts have immense energy, and when we think, as I'm sure all of you know, negative thoughts, we attract negativity and negative experience. And the reverse is, when we think more positively, we attract positive people and circumstances and experiences in our lives. And I'd like to underscore not only your thoughts, but your beliefs, right? So we're talking about what lies within your head or your brain, as well as what lies in your heart. As long as you believe it, that again will be what you manifest.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, the secret to success depends on the quality, the frequency, the intensity of our thought patterns and our beliefs. So if you're not getting the results that you want, then it may be time to increase awareness of your thought patterns and your belief systems. If maybe you're operating with outdated or limited beliefs, then it can create a stuck, fixed mindset. And we want to encourage a success mindset instead.
Exactly. Okay. Well, let's talk about the brain a little bit, right? It's really a holistic system. It works in harmony with everything else, and when you don't have a clear vision, yeah, and you don't have goals and you don't have the right mindset, you struggle to unlock what it is that you feel is your full potential, right? So it's like having the numbers of to a vault, but not knowing the sequence. Right?
And what good is that?
Right. So we're going to take you through all three, right? So you can be ready to shift the paradigms, learn the top 3 secrets, and we'll do it slowly enough so that everyone gets to enjoy the visualization, the action steps, and finally move on to how to really live that, feel that, and live that. All right. So can you take us through that?
Well, the first step in this success formula would be to have a clear, concise vision for whom you want to be and how you want to live. Without this vision, it's going to be very difficult to manifest that success. Do you have anything to add to that?
I don't.
So, to create a clear mental picture of the life that you want and to start programming that into your mind, it's important to visualize it. So if you would, with me, close your eyes, or if maybe drawing or writing comes more naturally to you for exploration, then maybe take out a piece of paper and you can write what comes to mind. But if you want, with me, to close your eyes and to actually envision yourself succeeding. Visualize your ideal future. Close your eyes and look around. What would you need? Who would be supporting you? What would your space feel like? What would your success look like? And how can you live the life that you've always dreamed for yourself? And you might tap into all of your senses. What would it smell like? Would it smell good? Would it smell fresh? Would you have the windows open? What would it be? Because really, the more details, the better.
Right, right. And thank you for adding the feeling, right, the senses. You know, as much as we're saying this is about the brain, we said it's attached to everything and in harmony with everything else. So in order to make this visualization 3D, we really want to be able to include what it feels like and smells like, maybe even tastes like, right? All of them.
Are you eating healthy? Are you sleeping well? Do you feel fulfilled? Allow your vision to become your main focus. And again, you can use our email address, Holistic Help for You, if this is something you're looking to explore a little further.
Very good. Yes, absolutely. And let's also make the suggestion that this practice be on a daily basis. Like any new skill that you need to learn, practicing it once or twice. And I know we're impatient and we want immediate results.
But no, not at all.
we really need to make a commitment to focus every single day. And I'll, if you don't mind, I'll share what I do towards that end. So when I wake up, I actually envision how I want my day to unfold. You know, I actually sometimes look at my calendar and see who I will be either speaking with or meeting with, and envision how that will transpire. And then what I do, and to the greatest detail. And if I can't think of details, I'll use the phrase, and what obstacle may come, I'll be able to navigate around it successfully so that the outcome is what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't always need to have the answers, but we can use that intention
Mm-hmm.
of navigating around
Right.
obstacles.
And maybe you experienced some obstacles that day and things didn't go exactly as you planned or as you had wished. And so something that I will do if that happens in my life, which it will inevitably happen, I will reflect back on the day and try to visualize myself succeeding, just feeling more fulfilled. And maybe if I had slept better or if I had taken care of myself better, I would have been able to show up with all of my energy. So I envision that in order to reprogram my brain to believe that I will succeed.
That's just so wonderful. That really is a wonderful suggestion that I would say maybe some of us might have a hard time thinking, well, how can I do that if it didn't really happen? But what you're really tapping into is the ability for us to literally rewrite and reprogram,
Exactly.
right?
And
Literally-
create the future, because
So
you are reaffirming that new neural pathway that is expressing success. And so the more we can strengthen those neural pathways that see us succeeding, the more likely that our brain is to use that neural pathway next time.
Right. And so I'll just punctuate again, when we've had situations that, as you say, haven't gone the way we want, to try this, right? To ask everyone to just try this, right? And really see how they can rewrite it. How would they have liked for it to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and appreciate that that isn't what occurred, but again, realizing that once they envision it,
Mm-hmm.
then they're actually programming their brain to that.
Absolutely.
All right, so why don't do we need to tell them where to go, or
We did that. So I
Okay.
think we're ready to speak about step number 2, secret
okay?
number 2.
So now that you have your vision, and I hope you've written something down that after the show you can spend more time developing that with as much detail as you can. The next is, of course, to do an action plan,
Mhm.
right? So now you know what it is that you want to manifest, and this will help you understand what steps you need to take or how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, as soon as you set a goal, actually, our brain automatically starts working to make that happen. It's amazing how we're actually programmed for everything to occur, right? So even if you don't yet know how to achieve it, the first thing that happens is this wonderful feel-good chemical of dopamine, which most of us are very familiar with. It's released in the brain, and it begins to activate that motivational part of our brain that keeps us, going and in motion, right?
Right.
And you're suddenly saying, yeah, I'm going to do that, right?
Mhm.
That's the excitement that many of us feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when your brain's motivational circuit really gets triggered, right, as we both know, but just tell everyone, the more we think that, it needs practice, that you literally start developing a myelin sheath around that nerve, so that though initially it was more slowly traveling down that neural pathway, with repetition or a fatter myelin sheath, it literally jumps over the synapses, and so that's when things start becoming a habit,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's
Absolutely.
physically what occurs.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to take us through some ways what type of action steps we might want to take?
Absolutely. So with these goals that we're setting for ourselves, we want them to be specific. We want them to also be measurable, something that we can see, achievable, right? If we have poor eyesight, our goal might not be to be in the Air Force where you need to have perfect eyesight without glasses. So we want our goals to be achievable. What else?
I would say that I'm going to ask people to just say today, just focus today on what one step people could take to move a little closer to that goal, right? Is there someone they could speak to that has done something similar to what they're looking to do, right? Is there some research, doesn't have to be hours, right? But going online and learning something that they didn't know before. I would say, is there people they can ask to tell their story, right? We have wonderful stories that we can learn from. And so hearing that, we could then begin to see what action plan we might be able to do today. What do we want to accomplish in a week? What would we like to accomplish by the end of the month? And what we would like, just to set ourselves. And I know it's harder as we go further into the future, but just to at least be able to have some rough goals that we know we're aiming for, right? Again, with the belief that when we share these goals, it actually cements it in our brain, right? To have that happen.
And when we do share our goals, it not only releases dopamine, but also oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical. So now your brain's getting two happy chemicals, and that keeps the motivational circuit going. It keeps your momentum going. And when our momentum is going, we're unstoppable.
Right. So this bonding love chemical that we all love, right, is also involved when we begin to share it with more people. And I know that might feel, well, I'm not ready, but you can present it, I would say, transparently, right? And you can say to people, here's my dream, and I want to share that dream, knowing I may not make it. I mean, I love being realistic and honest and truthful, but this is what I'm aiming for, and here's what I'm going to go for, right?
And then you have a whole team of people who you never know who they're speaking with. They might say, oh, I know this person who wants to do this, and that person knows 4 people that are doing that. I can, open the door for you. So I think the more we share with others, also we open ourselves up to more opportunities.
Right. So our brain is being stimulated, and our world
Right.
is being stimulated.
Exactly.
Great. I think we're ready for number 3. What do you think?
Okay. And I just want to make the point also that if this is another step that you'd like some support with, setting action steps, then you can always send us an email at holistichealth, the number 4 and the letter U, at yahoo.com.
And let's just, so people don't add a W to holistic, 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 help, HELP, again the number 4 and the U. So together we give you the right information. That's why we do these things together.
Absolutely.
All right. So the big why, would you like to start with the big why? That's number 3, the big
Right.
why.
If we don't know exactly why we're doing something, sometimes it can be very difficult to maintain that motivational circuit in our brain. So to identify why you want to make your vision a reality, who is it that you want to help? How will you be helping people? How will you be helping yourself?
And I would say to that, it in those moments when it's frustrating, in those moments when you're not making your goals and the vision isn't so clear, I feel when you have the why, that's really, for me, the foundation that kind of keeps it moving, keeps it solid, excuse me. It's like, this is why I'm doing it. And so why don't we give maybe some examples about, or ask people, I'm sorry, so close your eyes right now and ask yourself, what's the why behind the desire that is guiding that vision that you shared for yourself? Why do you want to live this dream, right? So it could be anything from, do you want to be financially independent and also have healthy, loving relationships? That's a big why. Yeah.
Maybe you just want to be able to travel whenever you want.
and be your own boss.
Yeah, that's
Which-
what I do. I'm
Yes.
always traveling.
She absolutely is, and can work anywhere, which is
Mhm.
wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or maybe you'd like to heal, right? Other people, right? And, you know, be able to enjoy that, witnessing that unfolding,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where, you know, we have clearly been yearning for, you know, some painful parts of us to, in fact, be healed, and you
Mhm.
play a part in that.
Right, and as you were speaking, I was thinking it would also be valuable to have these goals in a place where you can see them often. So maybe a poster, if we're talking about health, maybe a poster of people hiking to remind you, or making the background of your phone a picture of what you see success as. So being financially independent, maybe you're looking to have your own apartment, or to buy your first house, or to get a pet. Maybe you can have some reminders in your space, photographs, encouraging quotes, or nice things that other people have said about you or to you that you might have written down, or a card that you kept from someone who was like, wow, you are incredible. That's a beautiful thing to keep in your space to keep you going.
And I actually, just to use a personal example, I have that. You know, I have something that in a heart shape that says "You rock," and it's on my counter. That was given to me by a very special friend, and also a bottle of wine
Mm-hmm.
that was in a bottle that talks about the importance of our relationship. And what I do literally to always have that in my life is when I pop the cork of a wine bottle, I actually take a moment to put the wine into that bottle so that as I serve that wine, I am seeing the reminder of that special
Mhm.
relationship. Exactly to
It's
your
beautiful.
point. Exactly to your point. So many ways to keep those reminders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, why don't we ask you to close your eyes right now and envision the big why? Yeah?
Mhm.
So maybe some of what we've suggested here is helpful. And just close your eyes and ask yourself, what is your why? Right? So that, and write a few reasons down. I appreciate we're saying the big why, but describe it, or there may be more than one, so that you have the ability to review them on a regular basis and read them, reread them, as to why you're making the efforts and visualizing what you're putting your time and effort into to actualize and manifest.
Mm-hmm. And by celebrating some of these victories, let's say your goal is to be healthier, and you realized you tried tomato, not ketchup, tomatoes, and you liked it. That's a victory. You like a vegetable. So now you can celebrate. Maybe you'll have someone over and you'll make a special meal that has more tomatoes in it. And that's a way of, you've got oxytocin with your friend, you've got dopamine because you are rewarding yourself for a victory, and you've taken one step closer to your goal.
Yeah, small victories are really important. I sometimes say I think my brain is like a 3-year-old that needs to have all these yay moments, and it does. It just feels great. You know, we as adults forget to celebrate
Right.
those small victories, but it really, the latest neuroscience really confirms that those moments of, even if it's just a smile, like, you know, it absolutely impacts, you know, our motivation to continue and have that next success.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for reminding us about that. So, what we're looking to, I know we have just a little bit of time left, so much, it happens so quickly, time passes so quickly on TV shows as well as in life. So I think I'm going to just summarize by saying we are hoping that these 3 secrets have helped you to, 1, visualize, right?
2, create action steps towards your goal.
Right? And of course, 3, have that big why. So that no matter what's happening, you're able to really go into your heart. And I would say the big why, as much as it's in your brain, as we've said, thoughts and beliefs are absolutely both your head and your heart, and together, this will propel you forward. And I would say in my own life, the ability to pivot, the ability to be patient, to yes, do all you can, right? To do the best that you can. And I personally trust, beyond what I envision, that I as a person have my own spiritual journey, and I personally defer to my spirit when it's going in a different direction than I thought, and trust, okay, okay, this is where I need to go. Do you feel the same way?
Absolutely. We have to have compassion and sometimes lose the judgment. Something happens and we think, oh, but really it happened. Period. So what can we do? So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. And thank you everybody for joining us. And this is from Manhattan Holistic Chamber of Commerce.
From our heart to yours.
From our heart to yours.
Take care.
If you're ready to create a financially sustainable and rewarding practice while increasing satisfaction for both you and your clients, come to our next meeting and experience it firsthand. For details, go to holisticchamberofcommerce.com/ManhattanMT.